Sorry about that, looks like the stream cut out. Looks like we are back in business. Okay. So let's restart that last set. Sorry if you were already going. Okay. So again, our first movement, we're into the calves. Now another thing it does is it helps the low back better stabilize against the floor. It also helps engage the core. And 5 more seconds. And we're back. Okay. Next one we're going to is we're moving into that push-up plank. So let's take about 15 or so more seconds to rest. Go right into that push-up plank. Again, the push-up plank can either be done on your knees or it can be done on your toes. So whatever's more comfortable for you, whatever you can sustain for 40 seconds. And we're moving. Try and keep the butt nice and low. Core is engaged. If you need more of a challenge, just kind of work forward over the shoulders. And hold that plank right there. Good, just about 20 more seconds. Good, 10 more. And rest. Okay, so we do 2 more sets of those each, and then we're going right into the cool down. So we'll do 2 more supersets, and then again right into the cool down. And we're starting in 2, 1, and go. Now when you bring the heel down to the ground, pretend like there's an egg that you're going to touch, and you're not going to crack it. So you lay it on the ground really soft. You don't want to crack the egg. You should really be pushing, giving some good pressure into the wall. And rest. Okay, back into our push-up plank here. And we'll rest about 10 more seconds or so, and then we'll go right into it. And we're going. So again, the core stays tight here. You can be on your elbows, you can be on your toes. The butt stays down. You should feel a good activation through the core. Good, just about 15 more seconds. As you're doing this, try and push the ground away from you. Little more of a challenge through the core. You really start to feel it. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Okay, we'll do 1 more set of those. We'll go back and forth on 1 more set, and then we'll go right into the cool down, the postural training. And 1 more set, we're back into the dead bugs. So we're here, we're against the wall, we're pushing straight down into the wall. And then again, we're just tapping the heel onto the ground like we don't want to break the egg. And rest. Okay, nice work there. We'll come back, we'll do one more set of push-up planks, and that'll be our last one. We'll go right into the cool down. And we're going, and no. Again, you can push the ground away from you, makes it a little bit harder. You can kind of lean forward through the hands. Also makes it a little bit harder. Whatever you're doing, just make sure you keep the butt down. Again, the knees can be on the ground if you need them. Maybe about 10 more seconds. And rest. Woo! Okay. Nice work, everyone. Okay, I lied. I forgot one thing. We're going to do a little bit of a burnout here. We're going to do 3 different exercises. We're doing 45 seconds each. And then we're going to move into the next exercise. We'll do it 45 seconds. We'll move into the next exercise after that. We'll do it 45 seconds. So these are meant to get the heart rate elevated, to get you sweating, to get you moving. So that being said, take about 30 more seconds, grab some water, and then we'll get into those. The first one we're going to do, one of my favorites is mountain climbers. So you'll be here. We're bringing knee to the opposite hand, knee to the opposite hand. After that, we're going to move into glute bridges, but we're going to do the glute bridges with marching. So we'll go into that glute bridge position, and then we're going to do this. And we're doing it at a fast pace, so we're marching at a fast pace. And then after that, we're going to go right into dive bomber push-ups. So we're going to start kind of in this arched position here. Hands are going to be about shoulder width, a little bit more. And then we're just going to dive down and back up. Down and back up. So those are the 3 exercises we're going to be doing. We'll get going in just a second here. We'll get going in 5, 4, 3, 2, and we're into our mountain climbers. So remember, opposite knee goes to the opposite hand. And when you're doing those, make sure you're keeping the butt down. Don't have the butt up like this doing them. You won't get the same benefit. Speed is what we're going for here. So we want this to be challenging. We want to get the heart rate going. Good, 5 more seconds. And rest, okay. Now we're going straight into our glute bridges. So again, these are glute bridges with marching. So we're get going in 5 seconds here. And we're going. So again, speed here is the key. So we're just doing some, it's called glute bridge marching. The idea is we want to keep the pelvis level and we want to keep it off the ground the entire time. Good, we're already halfway there. This one you want the core to stay tight so that you're not dropping one side of the pelvis or the other. So this one stays nice and tight. Okay, good, and rest. Woo. And then finally, into our dive bomber push-ups. So those again, we're gonna start here, nice and high, and then we're going all the way down, and then back up. So we'll get going with those in about 2 seconds here, and go. So dive bomber, push-up, and then we're going all the way down, all the way up. Good, 10 more seconds. Remember, speed is key. And rest. Woo. Okay, nice work. Okay, take about a minute. Grab some water, and then we'll go into our cool down routine here. Whew. How's everyone feeling? Hope everyone's feeling good. Got a good sweat going. We're about to bring it all back down in just a second. If you have a foam roller for this next one, that's great. If you don't, for what book, any of that will work. Okay, our first move here, you're going to need the corner, any corner will do on the wall, and we're going to do a stretch through the chest to help open up the chest, because we're doing a lot of pushing, we're doing a lot of stuff with the shoulders, so we want to make sure that's nice and cooled down so it's not too sore in the morning. So, corner, you'll find a corner, elbows will go on the wall, either side, feet are going to be together, and I just want you to let the chest fall in toward the corner. Now play with the position of the elbows to find out what's going to give you the best stretch. So make sure if it's elbow a little bit higher, a little bit lower, just figure out what works for you. Everyone's going to be a little bit different here, but just whatever's giving you the best stretch. Now you can hold this for about 5 seconds and then come out of it. Or what I like to do it as repetitions. So what I do is you'll go all the way as far as you can, hold for just a second, and then relax. Hold for just a second, and then relax. Here's what that looks like. So we're going in, and holding at my end range, and relax. And let's crank out about 10 of these. So we'll do about 10 of these here. So that should open up the chest real nice. So I just want to do one more because that felt really good there at the end. I just started to get a good stretch. Okay. Woo! Nice. Okay, next, this is where you're going to need either a foam roller, stack of books, whatever you have with you. And you're going to go into this child's pose position, but you're going to do it on the roller. So you can start with the arms kind of right at the wrist, right at the base of the palm, and then just roll it forward as you kind of dip into that child's pose. Now you should feel this through the mid-back. So I want you to feel this through the mid-back. As you kind of sink further down, you'll hold for just about a second or two, and then relax. Hold for about a second or two, and then relax. So the hold that I'm doing, I'm thinking I'm sinking my chest toward the ground. So if you think about what sitting looks like all day long, keep doing this as I go, but you think you're more flexed into this posture, you're kind of slouched forward, you get at your computer, the shoulders get rolled forward. A lot of these exercises are working to pull you out of that position. So we're pretty much starting to work your body in a different way, because if we're always stressing in just one direction, that's when we start to overuse those tissues, and that's where they become susceptible to injury. Just like you can do the same exact workout every day and overuse the same tissues, same thing with sitting too long. That's a stress placed through those tissues. So you need to do something to offset that. And that's what we're working on here. Okay. Next, you're gonna take either foam roller, stack of books, whatever you have with you, and you're gonna put that to the side. You're gonna lay on the ground. You're gonna roll this way. The knee right here, the knee and the thigh, just rest on the foam roller like that. Ideally, the roller's a little bit longer, but whatever you have is fine. And then from here, we just want to reach back, 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 and try to get our mid-back to touch the ground. If you feel like you're doing this exercise and your leg's starting to come off, that's okay. Just make this station right here, make it a little bit taller. Just make sure it supports the leg. So we want that supporting the leg so that the low back is relaxed. Some people, when this comes off, will try and push it down. I'd rather have you have something here to support the leg just a little bit higher so you can complete the movement. Good, let's do about 6 more of those. Now, if you get stuck at any certain part here, when you're doing this, go ahead, keep doing it. I'm going to try and get a little closer so you can hear me clearly. When you're doing this, if you get a little stuck at one part, just kind of breathe through that. Take a few deep breaths in that position you're feeling stuck in, and just try to breathe right through that. So let's go ahead, we're going to switch sides here. So again, same thing, we're supported here. Arms out this way, my right arm on the ground is here. Left arm goes back. Good, rolling all the way forward. Left arm goes back. Good, let's crank out about 5 more of those. If you play golf, if you play tennis, hockey, any kind of rotational sport, this is a great exercise to do to warm up before doing that. It gets your mid-back turning, and that helps take, it gets your mid-back rotating, that helps take stress off the low back. Get them one more here. Okay, so if you were someone who had to put, make this a little bit taller, try and keep working this exercise to the point where you don't really have to do that anymore, or you can start removing some of the height and start to really try and work to a point where you can get that leg even closer to the ground. That'll be even better for your mid-back. You'll get more rotation out of it. Okay, this one, you're gonna need a little bit of space on the wall. This one's gonna work all the muscles that pull you from this position into this position. So again, we wanna offset a lot of the sitting, a lot of the crouching forward at the computer, things like that. So what you're gonna do, you'll have the back flat against the wall. The feet will be about 8 to 12 inches off the wall, maybe a little bit further for most of you, a little bit taller. And then you're going to be looking straight ahead, and the back of your head is going to touch the back of the wall. And then from there, you're just going to push back into the wall and raise the body off. So there, and forward, and then back down. And we're just going to do 5 of these. So think, instead of looking up and doing this, think like you're trying to push the head straight back into the wall. You're going to feel like 6 inches taller after doing this, at least. Good, one more. Okay, good. So that's a really good one to do. If you do sit all day, I'd recommend doing that every couple hours after sitting. So if you find yourself stuck in that position for too long, it's good just to work those muscles in the other direction so that you're not putting too much stress on the tissues in any one position. Okay, finally, we're going to do some more of those shoulder rotations against the wall, except this time we're going to work it more as a stretch. So we'll rotate against the wall, and then when you find a position where you feel like, oh, it's getting a little stuck, feels a little tight, just hang out in that position for a few seconds and breathe into it. So if I'm right foot against the wall, it means I'm working my right hand. So I'm going to go back this way, back, 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 back. And for me, I'm feeling a little tight through here. So I'm just going to kind of actually take a little step off the wall and then just try to work the hip toward the wall. And that'll help open up the chest. A little bit lower, and then hip toward the wall. Good. Good, I'm just holding for about a second as I touch the hip into the wall, just for about a second. Okay, let's go ahead and switch sides. So now it's my left foot forward, so my left arm is going to be rotating back. And again, once I find that stuck spot, I'm walking just about a couple inches off the wall and then pushing the hip into it. So that looks like this. I'm here. And then I walk a little bit off the wall, and now from here I'm just letting the hips go into the wall. Okay. Whew, are we feeling nice and loose? Okay. So that is all I have for you for today. If there's anything else that you want to see, make sure you comment below. This will be recorded. It'll be on this page. It'll also be on my YouTube channel as well. And if there's anything that you guys want to see in a future workout, let me know. Either comment or message and let me know, and we'll get that worked in. So until next time, we'll see you Friday at 10 a.m. We're going to do probably more legs, more glutes, more abs. We'll keep working on it. Have a good Wednesday.